Welcome and thank you. Alberto, Marco, it's nice to meet you gentlemen. And we're here this week at the open house for Bystronic. But what I'd like to cover with you, you guys have explained to me that you've been going through some changes as Bystronic Group and really positive changes for the marketplace. And I just wanted to try and capture some of that conversation so we can relay that back to the marketplace. So if you wouldn't mind, Alberto, would you mind introducing yourself and your role at Bystronic, and then we'll move on to Carl.
Marco.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you and with your media group. My name is Alberto Martinez. Currently I'm the Chief System Officer. We have two divisions now in Bystronic, and maybe I will start answering your question. We decided like 1 year ago that the way we were managing or the way we were approaching to the market was not the best one, and we decided to make some changes to be closer to our customers, to engage more our customers, to be their partner in their journey for business, and we decided to reorganize Bystronic and build in two divisions. We have one division called Systems Division, and the other one is called Service Division.
Okay.
It's easier to explain the Service Division, which means everything related with attending to the customers, making installations, making the maintenance on the machines, giving all the services they need, consultancy and so on. And the rest, everything related with machines, with software, with press brakes, lasers and so on, belongs to the Systems Division. Okay. So I'm responsible for this global System Division.
Okay.
That was mainly the big change in Bystronic. And this is my role now in the company.
Okay, we'll go on to the nuts and the bolts, as we say. Sir?
Yeah, my name is Marco de Jong. I am in the System Sales Division, and I'm the head of sales Western Europe, and Western Europe is what we see as France, Benelux countries and the UK area. So purely responsible for getting order entry and doing that as good as possible.
Okay, so when we were chatting earlier, I find this really interesting from a structural point of view, because most of the companies I've dealt with are very much pyramid based, where you have an MD at the top and you have a structure filtering down. But the bigger the organisation gets, as in any global business for growth, that reporting change gets difficult to manage, and sometimes the only person that loses out is the customer. So it's quite interesting that you've made a very large structural change to your business, and that it's now coming into UK and other parts of the marketplace. But just to add some weight to that, what's your view on the relationship with the customer? How should this change benefit him?
Well, that probably is one of the main reasons why we made this change. Yeah. We want to be closer to the customer again. We, as Bystronic, we grew to a big company, and we always had a certain DNA, being close to the customer, being the partner of the customer, doing it together, being successful together. There was a couple of years that it went away a little bit. For certain regions, we had a lot of management layers. That's in the end not helping speed. Then decisions take a lot of time, and that's exactly what we wanted to eliminate. So we have really short lines now to be able to serve the customer in a really quick way, because the market has changed and speed is crucial. When a customer has a question, he actually wants to know today or even yesterday. If not, he might lose an order in the next day.
Yep.
So that's really one of the main reasons why we made this change.
And again, that is very interesting, because in my role I meet lots of sales engineers, technical sales engineers from companies like yourselves, and they all talk about that scenario of how can things speed up, because they want to close the order down. They want to sell the machine, they want to service the customer, who is often a friend for a lot of sales engineers. They know them very well, and they don't want to let them down. So that's again really interesting, and having already spoken to some of your engineers, it's quite evident to me that that's coming through. So that's a good success story. Now moving back to the UK, you've obviously implemented this structural change from Bystronic head office that applies to the whole globe, which is really interesting news. But talking about the UK, this seems to me a resurgence of your brand and your access to the marketplace and your service to clients. But if I can just touch on, you've also, as part of that sort of energy, you've also committed to re-exhibiting at the UK national event for equipment sales, which is the MAC exhibition, MAC 2026, in April next year. Yep. Now, we've been working very hard with MAC and MTA to represent the sheet, the metal form and the fabrication division. So I know you've been part of that journey. Would you mind just talking to me about your logic of returning to MAC and how long the absence has been and what you're hoping for?
Yeah, the logic is, Bystronic UK always was a very good, stable, professional organization. Yeah, I mean, I do not know every region in detail and every subsidiary, but I think it was always one of the strongest subsidiaries we had.
It was.
But that doesn't mean times are changing and we can do more. And what we have seen in the last couple of years that we were there, we are there, we are serving our customers, we have a strong organization, we have a strong service organization, but we are not out there and we want to show ourselves. And that is what was missing in the last couple of years. So we are really now pushing for being present again, show ourselves, the Bystronic brand, we are proud of the brand. We are doing marketing, promotions, we are doing activities like the MAC exhibition. Yeah. Today this super event here in-house, the Innovation Days. We are really present in the market, and I think we are now doing this for 4 or 5 months since we started the new organization in January, and left and right there is some positive signs. So
yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I'm in the market quite a lot, and I see a change happening. So I think it's great that you've made those changes. The only winner is the customer. Yeah. And it's great that you're supporting the MAC show, because that's our footprint to the end user, and they generate, I think last MAC was 27,000 people. But obviously in our world, the audience is sometimes different in terms of where the production happens. So that's quite exciting, because we should be able to collectively encourage our market to go and visit at MAC. So I'd like to thank you for all those commitments, and thank you for explaining that to Sheet Metal Industries, and we look forward to helping you on that journey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.